want to preface this by saying, like, this guy's a scumbag. This guy's an asshole. Okay. But a Tennessee man was arrested on Friday for allegedly creating and sharing a fake photo of two men urinating on the grave of a local police officer. We'll say his name because he's an asshole. Joshua Andrew Garton, 28, was charged with harassment for, quote, manufacturing and disseminating the image on social media, according to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Quote, just showing my respect to the deputy Daniel Baker, the photo was captioned. Joshua Garton was charged with harassment. Baker was, now the cop was shot and killed in 2018. The trial for the alleged killer is coming up. It's been postponed because of COVID, but that's it. That's the story. He's being held in county jail on $76,000 bond for using Photoshop to create an image of two guys pissing on the grave of a fallen officer. And he was arrested for that. What's the law on that? Like, how is that okay? I get the guy's an asshole, and I get it's a shitty thing to do, but can you just be arrested for shitty things?
Well, I mean, you could be arrested for directing a shitty thing at somebody to intentionally try and cause them harm. I mean, there's certainly limits. Usually I would say harassment is something that happens more over time. Now, I don't know. There might be some sort of history here, I would imagine. I'm sure he's not just posting that on there this is the one time that he's ever voiced this sort of opinion on this, or I don't know why he hates this dead cop, but there's probably some history here. I mean, there's usually more of a history. And also when something even when one instance is so horrific, like this sort of thing is, that is enough for harassment too.
So this picture was photoshopped. Am I gathering that correctly? They didn't actually urinate on the grave. It was photoshopped that they were urinating on the grave.
Correct.
So is there legal grounds to then defend yourself and say, I didn't actually urinate on this guy's grave? Yes, it's a shitty thing to post, but is this kind of... I guess I'm trying to figure, like, where do you draw the line? It's something that did or did not, because according to what I know, based on what Murr said, they didn't pee on the grave. They only digitally enhance it.
I think I got a way to gauge this for us.
All right,
if you don't mind.
You want me to pull my pants down?
No, that's wrong measure. But Calvert, which side would you rather be on in this case?
Well, I would not want to defend the guy, obviously for moral reasons, but also because I think it's a losing case. To answer Wes's question too, I mean, just because something's photoshopped doesn't mean that it can't be harassing. I mean, I could Photoshop a photo of me shooting you in the head and keep sending it to you all the time, and that's harassing. I mean, I didn't actually shoot you in the head,
sure,
but sending something like that is could certainly be harassment. So, I mean, just because something happens online, the way the online world is now, doing something like that is just as, if not maybe even worse than posting something like that on that person's front lawn. So, I mean, just think of, you could go all the way back to something like cross burning even. I mean, it's a symbolic act to upset somebody.
Okay. Sure, but even cross burning's protected free speech.
Yeah, but if you're doing it it directed at somebody,
you can't just do it on like my lawn.
Yeah,
that's not going to apply.
That's true, but I mean, let's be honest. That cross burning is directed at multiple somebodies, but particular somebodies, and
if Jeb and Jetro and the cousins want to do it behind the barn, that's perfectly fine with me. Do your fucking thing. Burn them up. You want to need some gasoline? I'll sell it to you. But fucking doing it on my lawn changes it. And I think that's what Calvert's getting at.
Right. And posting it on Facebook is like going around, the community and posting flyers of somebody all through the town on all the telephone poles of some sort of image of them that would upset them. It's no different.
So I don't know. In a way, the reason I feel scared by something like this is because almost kind of like what you said about the current nature of social media is you're on one side or the other. And anything that you post could be considered harassment by someone else. And so if you continue to post your specific opinion over and over and over again, someone will be like, oh, he's been harassing me with his view. And if this guy can be arrested, then I feel like everybody could be arrested.
Well, yeah, I get your point there. I guess maybe we just have to feel like as a society that there are certain points where it's so obviously wrong that we just won't accept it. I mean, is somebody going to actually defend what this guy did?
Do I have
Actually, I am.
I know you're defending his right to do it. But
Correct.
Do I have a case when my friends post or tag me in food photos, even though endless times I've told them to stop fucking doing that? Do I have a case? They're harassing me.
Yeah, if I was barred in Maryland, Wes, I would definitely take that case. I think you've got a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on your hands.
I do want to say, Wes, about 4 years ago, I was made aware of a mass food Wes Fox tagging, and I am ashamed of this. I did not warn you it was coming, but I backed out and did not participate. So,
man, Kilby used to send a message to like 40 people and be like, all right, boys, you know what it is. I would tell Kelly. The wives would get it on.
Actually, Kelly had one of the best ones of all time. She made a face out of fruit that had a smiley face and nose with a cherry and fucking eyebrows.
Bar. We were at happy hour, and it was the fruit from a cocktail. And she was like, "This, I got this."
That was one of the best of all time. One of the absolute fucking best.
Good stuff.
That wasn't harassment. That was art.
I'll let her know.
Well, all right, let's lighten the mood a little bit here. I am worried about that one. I actually am worried about like where that one goes. Like this guy's a scumbag and he's an asshole and he deserves to be fucking punched in the face, like legitimately. But I do feel like I defend his right to like Photoshop something and put it on the internet because somebody's going to be offended by it. It depends. Did he send it specifically to someone or did he just post it into the ether? I feel like if he just posted it to the ether, it's a different case altogether.
Yeah, I think like Calvert said, I think there might be a history. I also just don't think you don't just jump into fucking photoshopped memes of dudes pissing on cops' graves. Like that's not your entry level kind of shit. You've done some stuff before that. You've made some comments on Facebook. You've probably gotten 30-day bans, and then we've leapt into disgraceful memes. You know what I mean? I think that's how that worked.
And that's not your first rodeo with the magic wand on Photoshop. You've got a pretty good eye for making things good. Yeah.
Well, actually, before we move on, does that mean that I can sue Calvin for pissing on every sports team and Chevrolet trucks?
Only the likeness.
Yes.
Yeah, if it gets those things removed from cars, then yes, please do. I don't want to see
Okay.
them.
Thank you.